My best friend made a scene at my son's birthday because I am selfish for being pregnant. Now she demands that I apologize, but I am ending our friendship instead. I and Jane had been best friends for around 12 years. I met her when she started dating one of my best friends. My husband and I married 10 years ago, a few months apart. Around 6 years ago, she confided to me that they were trying to have a baby, but they were having a lot of issues. I tried to be as supportive as I could be. Around 4 years ago, I fell pregnant. It was a surprise, but a pleasant one. When I announced it, I could see that I had hurt Jane. I apologized to her because I knew how much this infertility was affecting her. A few months ago, we announced our second pregnancy. Here is where poop hit the fan. Immediately after we announced it, she refused to talk to or see me anymore. I thought she was upset because of my pregnancy, and I was giving her space, but John, her husband, told me to talk to her as she needed me. She told me that she had an miscarriage just 1 week before I announced my pregnancy, and she couldn't bear it. I apologized so many times, and I tried to support her emotionally. She cried to me. I consoled her, but the next day, she told me to leave her alone. I respected that. My son's birthday came up a week ago, and we thought we would have a social distancing barbecue with a few people. I sent an invite to John and Jane, but I told them they don't have to attend if they don't want to. Jane and John attended. A few hours later, I saw that Jane was withdrawn and upset, so I went to her and asked her if she was okay. She threw her plate across the yard and started yelling at me about how much of a bad friend I am and how selfish I am. She told me I was trying to rub her face with my happy family and healthy pregnancy. She yelled at me about how insensitive it was of me to announce my pregnancy right after her miscarriage. In my defense, I did not know, and I apologized. She even yelled at me about how I probably just invited her so I could parade my baby bump and lovely son. Did she expect me not to have a bump when I am 7 months pregnant? There are a lot of things I could forgive, but she not only made a scene in front of some close friends, she yelled at me in front of my son in my house. When I kept silent, she asked me whether I would apologize for doing this to her. I told her I was done apologizing for things that weren't my fault and asked her to leave my house. John took her away even though she looked like she wanted to yell more. The next day, I told John the first didn't want to speak with Jane anymore. I told him he was still my best friend, but I would understand if he had to choose sides and couldn't talk to me anymore. I don't know what happened after that, but John came to my house yesterday and said he wanted to leave Jane and crash at my place for a few weeks. He said he was not ready to talk about what happened yet, so I am not pushing.